Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. I know it's been a little bit since I uploaded a video. This month was kind of crazy hectic. We went over our data limit on our internet, so I got slowed down for a bit. So I am behind on uploading flip-throughs and responding to comments, but I am going to get back to you guys' comments this week. I did do a decent amount of pages for March, I think, given how busy I was. But we will go ahead and get into them. I colored in a wider variety of books this month than I think I normally do. First up, I colored 2 pages in Joshua Dunbar's new easy coloring book that he released on his own, now that he's not with Jade Summer. These books are great, and I intended to color a ton of pages in this month, but kind of found out about a new artist this month, and I was really, all over that, and you'll see that in a minute. I did try to do some spring-themed pages in here, and there are quite a few flowers in this, so I think there's quite a few spring pages. But first I just did these 2 chicks here. And as always, I kind of used the grayscale that he's put down as a guide for shading. It is so light, it doesn't always show up under dark colors. So I just use it as a guide rather than kind of let it exist on its own like some of Jade Summer's books. And then I did this mouse here holding the poppy. I think it's a poppy, that's what it looks like to me. And you can kind of tell my marker gave out on me right here. I got to this very last petal. So I had to match a color from my other markers that I thought was close enough, and I think I did pretty decent. Speaking of markers, actually, I went through a ton this month. You'll see here, I always forget to show them at the beginning of the video. I went through 3 Ohuhu markers this month, which is a little unusual. I said in my last video that they don't seem to last as long as the Cali art markers. If you have a set of Cali art markers and Ohuhu markers, do you think your Ohuhu markers run out faster? Let me know. I did run out of just 1 Cali art marker, and then 2 of my big marking markers, and one of my very, very, very old Spectrum Noir markers finally gave up. You can kind of see that, the name is even rubbed off of it. They're so old, but it finally gave up. And those were the markers that I used up this month. A lot more than usual. It was just time for everyone to give up, I suppose. I didn't color, a crazy amount this month. I guess everything was just drying out. So up next, I have got Whimsy Girls Around the World. And I picked a specific picture to do in here this month. I picked the Irish girl because I didn't really have any pages for St. Patrick's Day. I did the one last year out of the Whimsy Girls Celebrate the Holidays, and not a lot of people put St. Patrick's Day pages in their books. So I was kind of looking around, what am I going to color for St. Patrick's Day? And I pulled out this book and I was like, I will do the Irish girl. That'd be a good one. I mean, there's a rainbow back here, so I think it works. This was all Ohuhu markers, Cali art markers, Spectrum Noir markers, especially for all this grass back here, and then Posca paint. All of my sheep are done over with white paint, so they look like nice, fluffy little sheep. And for the clouds, I actually used my black Posca paint. You guys know how Hannah Lynn kind of draws her backgrounds. I'm going to show you the easier image. The clouds are done in a very light gray line, and I just didn't particularly like how that looked. Personally, I wanted it to be more of a solid black. And I do have just a black Posca pen that came in a set that I bought, and I never used it, and I had no idea what to use it on. And I was like, well, what if I use it to trace the outlines on the clouds so that they look like they just have a regular black outline rather than the thin gray one? And I'm actually fine with how that turned out. I think it turned out pretty decent. It's more of a solid black backing like everything else in the image has. It's just weird to me that, I don't know, she uses some of the gray line art on some things in the image, and some of it has the solid black liner. It just looks a little off to me. That's just a very, very personal nitpick. I love their book still. I'll just go over it with, like I did here, a black Posca pen because it just looks a little better to me. And then, of course, I couldn't not put any gold on this picture, so I got out my nicer gel pens for this one, actually. I did use my gold Sparkle Pops, which I kind of have to, slow down on using, because I used them on everything. So I started using them on pictures that I just really, really like, because the Sparkle Pops are more expensive, and I was running through them a little too fast. But you can see that, I guess it would be a belt that she's got around her waist, is done up with the gold, and so is the necklace she's wearing. And by the way, for this picture, I did try to look up like traditional Irish clothing, but a lot of the clothing I found for women were just very like elaborate dresses. I couldn't find much with the cloak like this, so I just made up my own colors for it. I do like to try to do the historical clothing accurately like I did with the Greek girl, but I just couldn't find much for what she would have worn, especially makeup as well. So I just kind of, I winged it with this one, but I still think everything turned out good. So that was that one. And then I'm going to get out this shiny book, and I will hold it up so it's not too shiny. I did 3 out of Country Life Color by Colors. This is the book that I go to when I really want to color and I can't settle on a page. So I did 3 out of here. I'll kind of come to a picture and I may do all the red stuff. And then I'll decide, you know, oh, okay, I decided that I wanted to color, say, the Whimsy Girls page. And then one night I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to color, so I'll color all the blue stuff on a picture. And then finally it might come to me like, oh, I really want to do a portrait. So these kind of get pieced together as the month goes on, but I ended up finishing 3 of them. This is the last of the vertical images. Now the rest of them are horizontal, but it's this girl in her garden. Very fitting for springtime, and I'm going to hold it up a little bit so that it's not so shiny. My lights are like pointed right down, and of course these reflective pages want to just reflect the light right off of them. But you can see there, this one was nice and colorful. I really liked this one. Although her hair reminds me of a poodle. That's what I think of with that hair shape. But I do like her yellow and green like sweater. That was a very interesting color combination. And then we get to our horizontal pages. So you have this cute one with these 2 in the vineyard. Got all the grapes everywhere. I've never actually been to a vineyard. We have a lot of peach orchards out where I live, so the peach picture was my favorite because of that. But I do like this one. I don't know. I like grapes, so I'm just a big fruit person. But this one has also turned out really nice, really cute. Let me try to get that light shine off of it so you can see it a little better. There we go. If I turned off all the lights, then it would be too dark, but with them on, you know, these pages are hard to see. And then I did this 3rd one, which was for Michelle over at Kits and Caboodle's Color Along. Her alphabet color this month was C, and this was a perfect page for it. Of course, for Michelle, I had to do cats, and there are plenty of them on this page. This one is super cute. All the cats and all the plants, and the nice, cute little yellow house with the purple roof up there. You can see you've got cats on the roof. We got cats hidden among the plants. He's over here. This one's scratching at the door. This one's kind of like sitting in the rafters. You just know there's like more cats on the inside too. I guess you can see I went through. I guess you can see. Well, sometimes I talk a little fast there. Why I went through 2 of the big markers this month. I did end up coloring a lot out of these. And what colors did I use? I went through orange and blue, right? Yeah, and I do feel like that she's a bit heavy on the orange and blue colors. Blue, well, especially, you know, for the sky. That seems to be a bit of a problem with some of the color palettes that are smaller. I know I complained about this with World of Mice. That book used green so much. I went through so many green Sharpies. This one, it's heavy on orange and blue, so make sure you stock up on your orange and blue markers if you're going to color in this one. However, I feel like this has kind of more of a range of all the colors. It's a little bit of a book that definitely uses the entire palette. For example, this image here is just missing 2 colors from the whole palette, and the one before it was missing 2, and then the first one I showed you was just missing 1. So yeah, she really likes to incorporate all of the colors, which again, I like. I like it when the pages are super colorful, but just be aware that you're going to use up a lot of your markers. Next, I did a few pages out of Country Chibis by Alexandra Franzese. I am kind of in love with her books right now. She is putting out some really cute stuff. I'm excited to see her do another Chibi Girls book. I don't know if she will. She posts kind of sneak peeks on Facebook, and I know she just put out the Flower Mandala color by number, but I am hoping she will do another Chibi Girl one. So it was very, very rainy here in March, so of course I had to do this girl here in the raincoat with her cute bear umbrella and the little duck down here. Same to Joshua Dunbar's book. These have grayscale on them, but it's so light that any colors that are just slightly tinted in your alcohol markers, the grayscale is not going to go through it. It's that lighter grayscale where it kind of prompts you to shade a little bit yourself. It kind of gives you hints like, hey, here's where you should put the shadows. So that's what I use it for. And I believe I just use Ohuhu markers on this, and then a little bit of the Uniball gel pens. I was using them to highlight everything, but I have learned that if you use them on colors like red, blue, green, I guess they're just more pigmented. They really bleed through the white, but if you will use them on lighter colors like the yellow that I did here on the raincoat and the boots, they don't bleed through, so I'm trying to use them on more of my lighter colors. And you can see it stayed solid white for the highlights for this, whereas some of the other pages I've done where they've showed you the red or blue, the color just leaches through even if the marker is dry. I don't really know why, so I've kind of gone back to using my Posca pens more than the Uniballs, but I did get to use them on this picture. And then I did this girl in the cow costume, and I made her a strawberry milk cow. Because, you know, when we were kids, we always believed that, like, the brown cows give chocolate milk. The white cows are what gave you white milk. So I made her my strawberry milk cow. And again, just using it as a guide for the shading. I also put a sticker on here. I have that set of stickers from Dora King that I got off Amazon. Just this, like, teeny tiny box of stickers here that I got for Christmas. It's 50 pieces. And I knew that there were some strawberry stickers in there, and I thought that that would be cute to go on the bottle, like a little strawberry sticker since it's strawberry milk. So I put this sticker here with, it looks like a little bear is like peeking over the strawberries. And I do like how this turned out, even with the addition of this sticker. This was fun to color. This is a book I could see myself completing. I like all the pages in it. It's all super cute. I haven't really put any glitter on any of these. I've kind of just been keeping them a little more plain, and you know what? It's working out, so I'm happy with how they're turning out, being a little more plain. I've got to stretch over here to get my book. Hang on. Okay. So you guys know that I've been doing kind of a year-long bite color in Space Girls and Aliens with Misty over at Country Gals Coloring Place, so of course we did 2 more this month. And Newland Molly from Instagram joined us this time around, and you can see everyone's pages over on Instagram. I think this might have been the very first page I colored this month, but this is my alien girl. I'm calling her Two-Face because I tried to, they're slightly different shades. They're like, one's just a little darker than the other. You can tell in the light. I wanted to give her a two-toned face and body because she had the line kind of dividing her face right there. I don't know if they're supposed to be tattoos or what, but for me I was like, well, I have to do her in 2 different colors. Same with her outfit and her hair. She just looked like she would be Two-Face. So that's what I did here, and this is one that I used the Posca paint on because the green, it would have bled through the Uniball gel pens. I don't really know why that happens. I've just noticed it in a bunch of my pictures, so went back to Posca for this one and for her glove as well. There is glitter on here though, of course. I like to do my Deborah Muller pictures up like that. It's in the stars, you can see kind of back there. It's on her necklace. Her eye makeup is also done in glitter, and a little bit on her gun over here. She's kind of got like a ray gun, so I did some glitter on there as well. And I'm very happy with how this picture turned out. Oh, I know what else I used on it. I used the Milky Pop gel pens to do these, like I said, I don't know if they're tattoos or not, these dots on her body. I used the purple one to do those. They were so tiny that I thought a gel pen would work best to kind of fill those in. And you can again see their pictures over on Instagram. And of course, that's who I did the second page with as well. And it's kind of stuck together. There we go. This one was kind of a crazy page that I went all out on. And I'll explain it here in just a second. So, Ohuhu markers as the base, right? That's kind of what I like to use on everything. Some Cali Art markers, especially in the hair, because I had more dark tones in that. And then I decided, I've done her hair in galaxy color. I want it to look like a galaxy. And I believe it was on Dee Dee's channel that I saw the method where you take the paintbrush and flick the white paint to kind of create a starry look. And that's what I did here. But first, I got a blank piece of paper and I traced out the shape of her face and this little ship here because I didn't want to get any white paint on that. And then I cut that out and covered them up so that the paint wouldn't get on anything. And I just took my Posca marker and, you know, when you press down on them, it releases more paint into the tip. I pressed down on it and let it overflow a little bit onto a palette so that I could pick up the white paint. And then I just used that method to kind of flick it on here. And I'm actually happy with how it looks. It gave much more of a random pattern than it did right here where I just did the dots manually, and it looks more galaxy to me. So I am really happy with how that turned out, but it made a giant mess. I got paint everywhere. It was on my phone. It's on everything. I got paint on the little rabbit and duck that are sitting over here. I can see some of the white paint still on them, and you should see my Ohuhu marker box over here. I can see all the white paint specks on it. Definitely a very, very messy method, but it worked and it turned out really nice. So maybe do it outside. That would be my advice for next time. If it's a nice day, take it outside and do it so you don't get paint all over your room. But I also used a new product on this page, which you'll see more about in my haul video. I picked up some of the Dragonfly glaze. It's kind of a finisher. Not really a paint itself, you lay it over a color, and I just did it on her lips. I did the full spectrum one, and it turned out really well, but I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on camera. It's kind of a nice rainbow glitter color there on her black lips that also gives it this really nice galaxy effect, and I love how that turned out, but I wanted to try it out on like a small space before I did a whole page just to see what happens. And then, of course, I used some glitter gel pen for the eyeshadow and then the stars in the background. And some Posca paint to do the lines that were around this. There were just some small lines drawing attention to the UFO. So I did them in green and then white Posca paint for the highlights. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. Super messy, but it was really fun to do. And you can see Missy and Molly's over on Instagram. That was a lot of fun. So next I cracked into a book that has made me nervous. You guys will remember that I got this book back for my birthday, and I just haven't touched it yet because Grazia Salvo's art, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, is very intricate and delicate and beautiful, and I have been just a little afraid to touch this book. But I did. I did color the very first picture in here, and I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It is this girl with the flamingo, and again, it's kind of on that super reflective paper, so I'm going to pick it up out of the lights just a little bit. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I have talked before about how I have kind of just a bag of Copic markers over here that I purchased when they go on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I had enough colors that I could do the flamingo. I had some pinks, and I had, you know, enough stuff to do the skin tone and the leaves in the background. I don't have, for example, like a ton of grays and browns, so some of the other animals in here, I believe there's like a wolf page and then a dog and a cat. I had to pick an animal that I could do with the colors I had, because I felt like I couldn't do as much of the shading with the Ohuhu markers, you know, your cheaper alcohol markers. They kind of dry faster, they don't really lay down and blend the same way, so I wanted to use my Copics on these pages. And I just did the one that I could, like I said, and I am actually very, very happy with how this page turned out. I would like to slowly go back to buying some Copics when they are on sale. For example, buy a few browns so that next time I could do the cat page. Or buy a few grays so next time I could do the wolf page. I do have a lot of skin tones. That's something that I'll go out the money for the Copic skin tones. So I always keep those in stock just because their skin tones are so beautiful and they lay down so beautifully, and I love using them for portrait style images, but it's other colors that I really need to pick up more of. For example, the green I used back here on the leaves is the only green that I have in Copic markers, but the muted green worked really well with the bright pink of the Flamingo. Yeah, I am very happy with how this turned out, and I'm happy that I just kind of braved through it. I was like, I'm going to color a page in this book, and we're going to see how it goes. So I'm happy I did that. It turned out really good. So I was talking about how I kind of found a new artist this month, and I colored a lot of pages in their books. Well, that artist was Morgan O'Brien. I think everyone kind of discovered this artist this month. I believe these books were actually released like last year if you look on Amazon. I think that's when the release date was. It's just kind of like the coloring community just found this guy and latched onto him. But his art is so cute. So I did one out of the Matchstick Mouse Halloween coloring book. And I did this one. And all of his images, if you don't know, are in a circle, which I actually really like. It's just something a little bit different. So I did the mouse dressed up here. It's like a little witch, and they seem to be dancing. These are super simple images too. They don't take very long to do, but they turn out really cute no matter what you do to them. And I used a lot of my glitter gel pins there on the background. The background was already a solid black. He does use a lot of black in his images. For example, the image right before this one, you can see a lot of black is already used. It doesn't bother me, but if you're someone that doesn't like black backgrounds, then this Matchstick Mouse series might not be for you. But to me, with all of the crazy markings that were going on here, I'm about to explain something really specific, so hold on. It looked like the carpeting in movie rental stores and arcades. They have that crazy black carpet with like all of the colorful swirls and random shapes and stars. So that's what I did. I made it as bright and colorful and shiny as I could because that's what I was reminded of. I don't know what's going on here in the background, but I was like, that's the movie rental store carpet. That's so specific, but that is what it reminded me of. So that's why I glittered this up. And this is such a cute book. I have heard that he said he was going to do a summer one on Instagram, so keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, I got this one. I'm all over this one right now. This book is like my baby right now. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know if we're still keeping it a secret that it's like based on a popular piece of media or not, but I have been a fan of that media since I was a child. So yeah, I think I've never bought a book faster than I bought this one when I saw someone do a flip through of it. I was on Amazon, I ordered the book before the flip through was over. So I did 3 pages out of here this month, and they are all so cute. I did this yoga one, which is the one on the cover. And this one is super cute. Again, they're all in circle format, and I really like that. Hitana takes a very unique approach to it. Sometimes you have things sticking out of the circle. Sometimes they're still all the way in the circle. It's a very, very unique approach. And I made this one nice and colorful and green, doing our morning yoga in the clear skies. And I gave her the same yellow dress that was on the cover here because I just liked that color a lot. I thought that was a nice color. And I haven't really been putting any paint or glitter on these pages either. I've kept them really basic and simple because they just didn't feel like they needed it. The only place I did put some white paint was right here on the bush. These kind of weeds that are growing beside it were such tiny little dots. And I'm sure they're hard to see unless I bring them up really close. You can see right there. They were so tiny that using an alcohol marker on it would have bled out. So I used just a little bit of white Posca there, but everything else is just alcohol marker. And then I had to do this page right here because this is my favorite character. And he's, of course, got a little nod to Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. I did leave him white as his character actually is just solid white. But I did do a little bit of shading with a very, very light gray. And I'm not even sure that the camera is picking that up. Let me bring this a little closer so you can kind of see, because it is such a light gray. I didn't want it to be too dark because, you know, he is just a solid white dog. But I was even like Googling his guitar because I wanted to get it accurate, because like I said, this is my favorite character. So I was like getting out my magnifying glass, looking at this, like, okay, this detail on the guitar is this color, this is this color. Super thrilled though with how this turned out. I did a darker night sky. I thought about putting the dragonfly glaze on it, but I was worried about messing it up, so I was like, not yet. Let's keep doing it on smaller things first. Thrilled with how this page turned out though, for being a simple page. And then I did Doug's favorite character. And once again, I was out there Googling his outfit and his boat and the flag on the boat and the little sea creatures because I wanted to get them all the right colors. And again, it turned out really, really cute. This one I did use a little bit of white paint on once again. This is a chambered nautilus, I think is the name for it, and it does have these white dots here on the front of the shell, so I went in and added those since I was being so particular about how everything turned out. I was like, well, you know, if I've got it the right colors, I'm going to have to go in and add those dots. But again, so happy with how this turned out. So cute. Don't be surprised if you see this book every month from here on out, because I would love to finish it. I want to. I'm just over the moon with this book. Like I said, I'm obsessed with it right now. I'm already thinking of the pages I want to do next in here and how I want to do them. Just in love with it, and I can't wait to see what else Morgan O'Brien puts out. I'm like his new #1 fan. So, the last book I colored in this month was, of course, 50 Easter Miniatures. I didn't even color in her Spring Miniatures book because I was totally all over this one. So first up, I've got a buddy color here with a new friend to buddy color with, Christine's Coloring and Crafts. She had left a comment on one of my videos that we should do a buddy color out of this book, and we started emailing each other back and forth, and we actually did 2 this month. This one was the second one that we did. I just wanted to remind everyone that is a way that you can buddy color with me if you don't have an Instagram. You can email me. My email is in the description below. Feel free to just message me. I always accept buddy colors. I may take a few days to do it because I'm kind of running all over the place with college sometimes. But I always do them. I never turn them down. You know, if you picked a page that I've already colored, we'll just pick a different one. So this was the second one we did. And this was the page that I picked. I wanted to do the mice painting the Easter egg. And her picture is going to appear right over here. And you will see we both used a lot of purple on this one. And I think they both turned out very, very cute. I used my purple Posca paint for this page. I didn't want the black lines that were around the drippy paint and like on the paintbrush. I wanted it to seem more like dripping paint. So I used the purple Posca pen to go over all those outlines. And then of course you can see I used glitter on the egg itself. I always like doing Easter egg pages because you kind of get to go crazy with them like you would decorating a real Easter egg, you know what I mean? You can just go all out and put whatever you want on there and it'll work, because Easter eggs are always super bright and colorful. And I did my traditional water marker highlight outline kind of thing that I do with the Crayolas on this page. And I'm very happy with it. This one's super cute. This one was a smaller one, kind of easier to color. But this one was a lot of fun. It was a fun buddy color to do. Oh, and of course I did the Posca highlights. Again, I used Posca for purple because that's one of the colors that will bleed through with the Uniball gel pens. This one I did on my own kind of at the very first of the month when I got this book. I wanted to do one of the lamb pages right away because I think lambs are new. I don't think she's put them in any of her books before, and right away I'm always like, oh, I gotta color the new animal. So I did the lambs. And I did them in pastel markers because otherwise I would have just wanted to leave them white, and I was thinking that wouldn't be too interesting. So they're kind of cotton candy lambs instead, and they turned out really cute. Again, I did the outlining with water-based markers, but I focused it this time just on the lambs to bring a little bit more attention to them and make them stand out from the flowers back here. And I used my glitter gel pens to give them matching bows. So of course the blue one has blue bows and the pink one has pink ribbon. And you can kind of see the light catching the glitter there. Super cute page. I can't wait to color the other lamb pictures in here. And since she snuck some lambs in here, I mean, I know they're like Easter themed, but I'm hoping she's practicing drawing lambs for 50 farm miniatures, because wouldn't that be cute? And then here was what was actually the first page I did with Christine. It's the very last one that I colored in order back here. So we did these chicks under the mushrooms, and you will also see her picture appear here. And you might notice we did the eggs the exact same color. That was just completely coincidental. When I was looking at this picture, I was like, I gotta do pink, blue, and yellow eggs. That just, in my mind, I was just like, that's just the colors that I have to do for the eggs. And I guess great minds think alike, because we ended up doing the eggs exactly the same colors. Although, I decided to make my chicks just traditional yellow and brown chicks. This page, again, super cute. All of these pages are... All of Camelia's pages are so adorable. I love them so much. They're so much fun to color in. I used my white Posca pen to do the spots on the mushroom and my Crayola Super Tips to do the outlining. And that's it on this one. Otherwise, it was just my Ohuhu markers. Keeping this one pretty simple. No glitter here. They were kind of just in plain eggs rather than decorated ones. But I still did want to make them Easter eggs, so I did make them colorful. This was a lot of fun to do as a buddy color, especially since we ended up making the eggs the same color. I mean, for as many color combinations as you could have done in the eggs, like what were the chances we were going to make them the exact same color in the exact same way? That was a lot of fun. So I did have kind of a nice variety of books here this month, and a nice amount of pages given how busy I was. Proud of myself. I will show you my journal really quickly. After how busy I was, February, my goals for March were just to relax and have fun. That was my goal. And you can see I didn't even get to do some of the video ideas I had because we were so busy, though I did get to participate in some hashtags and holidays. Here is the actual breakdown of pages on the calendar. You can see it's pretty spread out this month, and I don't do as many pages on Tuesdays and Thursdays anymore because those are the nights that I have class. I did pre-count this video this time, so you didn't have to watch me count. There we go. Again, I get a little bit ahead of myself talking sometimes. And I did 18 pages. That is more than I have done the last 2 months, so yeah, I'm very proud of that. I feel like I said, for as busy as I was, I got a lot done, and I tried some new stuff out, like coloring in this book here, and I colored in some brand new books, and I tried out some new supplies, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I did a lot this month. This was really, really a good month for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.